So ain't no need for jail, treat everybody like fine me. Grow our own food, so ain't no need for fine man. You know where to find me. You know somewhere with the moon and the stars. Talking to self, talking to God. Me and my niggas like excellence and existence. My ancestors say, get it, every desert life, get it, yeah.
One of my favorite songs, Boy Illinois, Du Sable. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, let's get right into it. Peace. I'm Rami Salam El. Thank you for joining us. This is a message to all members of the Moorish Temple of America, especially all of the Grand Sheiks, Grand Governors, anybody in official seat or any sort of official capacity. I'm going to be reading from the Moorish Temple of America Moorish literature. It's basically like the literature you would get when you first join an organization. You know, this is a bunch of different statements from Noble Drew Ali, which was the founder of the Moorish Temple of America, as well as a few letters in the back. But we're not going to get into that. Right now I'm going to read an excerpt. It's called To Make Changes. It is reported that the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the Supreme Executive Authority, will appoint a Supreme Grand Council, of which he will be the Supreme Grand Chairman. The Supreme Grand Council will have power and duty to control, and supervise all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Temple of America, and they will be the sole judge of what constitutes conduct injurious to the order, peace, interest, or welfare of the organization, or at variance with its constitution and bylaws, meaning whether you're breaking the law or not. Also, the rules and regulations made by the Prophet, and shall be the sole judge of the sufficiency of the evidence by which such conduct is shown. The sole judge of what constitutes anything injurious, anything that may harm the organization, and if you break a law or not. The sole judge. Then the last sentence here is Prophet Noble Drew Ali is being congratulated by Chicagoans on the success of the Moor's first annual convention and for his splendid work to promoting the cause to humanity. The reason I read this is because I've been asking members of the Moorish Temple of America who is on the Supreme Grand Council, because according to this information, They not only have the judging authority and powers, but they also have the duty to control all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So they're at the top in terms of business. And if you look up control, matter of fact, yeah, let's go ahead and put that on the record. I wasn't going to read it, but just in case you don't want to look it up, let me put it on the record for you. Affairs, an inclusive term. This is coming out of, sorry, just so you know, Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Affairs, an inclusive term, bringing within its scope and meaning anything that a person may do. Anything that a person may do. A person's concerns in trade or property, business. That which is done or to be done. That's affairs. And then control. I wanted to look up control. We have the verb, to exercise restraining or directing influence over, regulate, restrain, dominate, curb, to hold from action, overpower, counteract, govern. And then it has the control as the noun. We'll put this on the record too. Power or authority to manage, direct, superintend, restrict, regulate, direct, govern, administer, or oversee. Administer. So, they are the administrators. The Supreme Grand Council has the power and the duty to administer and control and regulate and govern all of the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Basically, they're a very important group of people. So I've been asking, who is on the Supreme Grand Council? I've yet to get a straight answer from anyone other than we don't know or I don't know. It's either that or it's this circular and weaving around the obvious question. Who are the members on the Supreme Grand Council? So I'm making this video to ask you, to ask your sheik, if you are a official Grand Sheik or official in any capacity in the Moorish Science Temple of America, please respond to this video with the names of the people that are on the Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple of America. I just wanted to put this on the record first. Now I'm going to play a clip of a radio show that was done a couple of days ago, and you can listen and hear the responses of people, of Grand Sheiks, various Grand Sheiks, when they're asked the question of who is on the Supreme Grand Council.
So actually, I'm going to read a question that's coming in from Assistant Grand Sheik Rami Salam El. And the question coming through the chat says, does any of the Grand Sheiks know who are the members of the Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam?
Islam. I wouldn't have an answer for that question. I yield the floor.
Islam, Sheikus K. Glover L.
Islam.
Okay.
I give all praises to the great God Allah, honor to His divine prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Islam, the Supreme Grand Council is something that always comes up. Who's the Supreme Grand Council? Who's the Supreme Grand Sheik? Who's the Grand Body, EPC? Who's the Supreme Grand Council, honestly, Moors, is when all of the temples come together and there's no little I's, no big U's. everyone working together as a whole. That's the Supreme Grand Council. There is no Supreme Grand Body, because there's only one body, and that's the body of the Moorish Temple of America. There's different administrations, there's different individuals, there's different titles, etc. But there is only one Supreme Grand Council, one Grand Body, etc., and that is when we all come together and lay aside egos. With that, I say peace in Islam.
Islam, thank you. Grand Sheik Arnel Bey, do you have anything to add?
Islam. I would like to say exactly, I would like to add this, Muslims. When people come like that, they're coming as Lucifer, Satan, Devil, Dragon, and Beast. Because most of these brothers and sisters know the answer, okay? Well, they want you to get on here and say, my body is the right body. There's only one body of the Moorish Temple of America. There's only one prophet in the Moorish Temple of America. And there's only one Allah in the Moorish Temple of America. And Allah alone controls the destiny of the Moorish Temple of America. Not Arnel Bey, not E. Braswell Bey, not D. Bailey Ill, not Kenyu Bey, not Daweed Ill, not Taj Tariq Bey, not Nature Bey, or anyone else. So please get this understood. Now, the Grand Sheik has said it very swift, okay? Well, some will say you won't see that. And I beg to differ, Muslims. I went to go sit down with D. Bailey Ill, okay? And he told me he's starting to see a change of unity coming along. You're starting to see Moors from other administrations, if you want to call it that, or other flections, or however you want to call it, come together and say, look, Muslim, I ain't got time for that. They shoot us in the back. You see? So we don't play those games. We see one prophet, we see one Allah, and we see one Moorish Temple of America. For the others who don't see that, 1353 them mentally. Don't let anyone play with your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul and tell you, well, I'm the only one in charge of this movement. They're not Allah. They can't do anything. So with that, don't get caught up, Muslims. Don't be hoodwinked by these brothers and sisters out there. When you come to the convention, when you come to those authority days and you see those Muslims working together, we just went to authority day in the Mecca that Kenyu Bey and his staff put together, and it was beautiful. Praise be to Allah. It was many Muslims from every so-called fraction of the Moorish Temple of America, no political, nothing, all the Moors getting along, Sheiks and adepts and members and children, our future, enjoying themselves. This is how you will see the Supreme Grand Council. It's coming, Muslim. It's here. It's just some of these old Moors got to get out the way. Who got that Lucifer, Satan, Devil, Dragon, the Beast within their hearts, and they're breathing it upon their members. But it's over. Their time is out. Islam.
Islam, thank you. Grand Sheik Ramiel Bey?
Islam. No, I don't have an answer to that question. With that, I yield the floor.
Thank you. All right. Do we want to bring in the next? Islam, thank you so much for that. Did we want to bring on the next caller? And let's remind you again, it is about 25 minutes over. We want to keep the questions straight to the point, keep the answers at this point. If we can keep it to about a minute or less, that would be wonderful. The next Grand Sheik will be Grand Sheik Arnel Bey, and whenever you're ready to bring in the next caller.
Islam, we have 510, exchange 715. Let's make sure we get the question out quick so we can get you a great answer and so we can start moving towards the other callers. Islam, you're live.
Islam, this is Rami Salam Mel. Peace to everybody on the call. I just wanted to follow up on the Supreme Grand Council issue. I appreciate all the information being put forth here on this call, but what I realize more than ever with this movement is we have to cut the BS and we have to follow what the Prophet directed. And in the statement to make changes, it states that it is reported that the Prophet, the supreme executive authority, will appoint a Supreme Grand Council, of which he will be the Supreme Grand Chairman. Further, it states the Supreme Grand Council will have power and duty, I repeat, power and duty to control and supervise all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Temple of America, and they will be the sole judge of what constitutes conduct injurious to the order, peace, interest, or welfare of the organization, or at variance with its constitution and bylaws, also the rules and regulations made by the Prophet, and shall be the sole judge of the sufficiency of the evidence by which such conduct is shown. So again, I would like to pose the question to all the Sheiks. Do you know who is on the Supreme Grand Council? And the reason why I'm stressing this point is because if we can't answer this, then that shows a glaring issue with our movement and our organization, because the Supreme Grand Council is an integral part of the governing component of the Moorish Temple of America, Islam.
Islam, Grand Sheikh R.N. Neil Bey.
Islam, praise be to Allah, honest to his prophet. I like to keep it simple, Muslim. The Supreme Grand Council does exist. And again, if they're not with the prophet, and you should be able to find this, in the county of Cook, they're not given to the prophet, then they're not with Prophet Nabadur Ali. It's just that simple. If you're not with the prophet in the county of Cook, as an appointed officer in the movement of the Moorish Temple of America, then you are not a part or will ever be until you correct that first. The prophet on the back of the questionnaire has chapter 32, section 36. If you're not following what the prophet left, then you're tied to a group, you're tied to a Masonic club that looks like the temple, but it is not the Moorish Temple of America. Everybody who's with the prophet is with the prophet by appointment. Everyone is appointed. And they should be filed in the county of Cook. Some people don't want to hear this, but this is the truth. Okay? So the answer to that is everyone who is a member of the Moorish Temple of America, their officers should be filed in the county of Cook. If they're not in the county of Cook, then you're probably a part of just a group, a fraction, or something that wants to be with the Prophet Nabadur Ali. Just that simple, that cut, that dry. Islam.
Islam. Does that answer your question?
Islam.
Or
Islam, no, it doesn't. With respect, the question is simply who is on the Supreme Grand Council, and I keep asking this to different officers, officials, etc., and I can't seem to get a straight answer, and that is very troubling to me because it should be very clear. Just as
do you want a straight answer? Can I give you a straight answer? I'll give you a straight answer. This is Brother Arnil Bey. It's not many people filed in the county of Cook. So if they're not filed in the county of Cook, according to home rule, as the prophet has instructed us, it's not many. And I don't want to say it in the ego-type way, so I won't call out all the names. But there is people who are appointed and have their appointment letters with the Prophet Nabadur Ali. See, this is not Emily Ear's movement. This is not Gibbon Zill's movement. This is not C. Kirkman Bay movement. The Prophet left it for us. So you must go back and do what the Prophet told us to do. Study. If you go to the county of Cook, you can look and you will see. And then you prepare who's with the prophet and how they're with the prophet. Because there's many people who are filed in the county of Cook, but they didn't file properly, or they're self-appointed. You cannot be self-appointed. This is why we must follow Hurd's Revised Statute. The Hurd's Revised Statute shows you how you're supposed to run your Moorish Temple of America. This is a nation state. Everyone is filed in the county of Cook. And there's many names, and I can go on. Over 15. Islam.
Islam.